Sairam children, welcome to today's session. So today we have the science subject and we are going to do the revision of chapter 4 matter. So already we have completed the lesson. We'll just do the full lesson revision. So before that, let's revise the keywords of this lesson. So these are the words which are very important. So you should learn by heart the spellings and you should know the meaning of it, and so that it will be easy to do your assignments and it will be helpful for your online exams. So let's get started children. Let's revise the keywords first. So I'll just read the words, and whenever you find time, just pause the video and you also keep doing the revision and learn by heart the spellings also. So let's start. The first word is matter, weight, space, volume, particles, molecules, solvent, soluble, solid, liquid, gas, definite, evaporate, steam, substances, saturated, wax, furnace, dissolved, solution, solute, grain, sand. So I hope by this time now you must be very familiar with these words. Now let's proceed to the lesson. Yes. So in the part 1 video, we have already listed down the things that we can see around us. So can you list out the things again, children? What can you see at your home? Yes, we can see many things in our home, like bookshelf, TV, fan, table, chair, and yourself. And outside we can see vehicles, trees, house, buildings, etc. So children, our earth is a beautiful planet. So we can see many things around us. There are living things and non-living things also. So the things which has weight and takes up the shape is called the matter. So the lesson is nothing about the matter. So you should first understand what is called matter. So anything that we see around us which has weight. A book has weight. Yourself also, we weigh something. We have weight. Anything, whatever you touch of that has weight and takes up the space, it is called matter. So all living things which that we see, such as animals, birds and plants, and non-living things such as balls, books, wood, water and air, are made of matter. They have weight and they can take up space. And children, feeling of love or sadness or any other feeling, it is not a matter because it does not have a weight or it doesn't take the space. So what is matter? Anything that has mass, that is weight. Mass means weight, and occupies space is called matter. So these are examples I'm showing here: ball, car, book, cloth, and many things we can list out. So all these are called matter. Now next one is, yes, the food we eat, the water we drink, and even our body are the examples of matter. And what is volume? The amount of matter takes up is called its volume. Now here, yes, states of matter. Here the first picture, washing their hands with water. And the second picture, washing their hands with soap. So the question is, can you hold the water? No. And in the second picture, can you hold the soap? Yes. Because liquid we cannot hold with our hands. And the solid we can hold it. So now we are going to learn the states of matter. So we have three states of matter. How many states of matter? Three. So they are solid, liquid, and gas. And for example, solid, earth, stones, books, pencils, anything. And liquid, milk, water, juice. And for gas, air. So these are the examples, and you can give your own examples also. Now let's see in details what is matter made up of. So matter is made up of tiny invisible particles called molecules. Now let us understand this by the example. So here I'm showing the pieces chop, and the second picture is made it into pieces, and the third picture is made it into powder. Now children, so chalk, we can break it and we can make it into pieces, and further we can make it into powder, and further the scientists, they make it into tiny millions of particles, that is called the molecules. So children, matter is made up of many tiny particles. So when they come together, when they are combined together, it becomes a matter. So matter is made up of tiny invisible particles called molecules. So these particles are much smaller than the grains of sand. They are so small that we cannot see with our eyes. So millions and millions of these tiny particles together form a bird or chair or pencil or any solid item, any items. So these molecules, the molecules of different substances are different from each other. So these tiny particles are called as molecules. Now let's see the states of matter. As I said, there are three states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. So what are called solids? So I showed you the example also. Yes, book, chair, computer, or anything. So solids have a definite shape and volume. In a solid, the molecules are packed close to each other. Now we learned what are called molecules. So in the solids, the molecules are closely, very closely packed each other. So that is why these solids have a definite shape. So if you take a book in your hand, the shape is same. Or if you keep it on the table, the same book, the shape of the book is same. If you keep it inside the bag also, the shape of the book is same because it has a definite shape and volume, and because the molecules are packed very close to each other. But in liquid, if you take any liquid in a glass, it takes the shape of the glass. If you take it in a bowl, it takes the shape of the bowl. But book, wherever you take, wherever you keep, the shape does not change. So the examples of solids are stones, tables, and books are solids. So here the green colors are the molecules. See how much closely they are packed. Yes, that is why it is very strong. Anything. So if you take this knife also, it is made up of molecules. So the molecules in the knife are closely packed. That is why it does not change its shape and volume. So the molecules are packed close to each other in the solid. So for example, pen, books, rings, or any solid items you can write as an example. Yes. So you can just think over of this question. If you want to take a piece of cake and juice to your friend, you have a plate under glass. So which one will you use for the cake and which one for juice? So will you take the juice in the plate? No. So the cake you will take in the plate because it does not fall, it does not change its shape. And liquid you will take it in a glass. And next one is, let's say, liquid. Liquid has a definite volume but no definite shape. So they have the same volume but they do not have the same shape, that is definite shape. So in a liquid, the molecules are not packed close to each other. So they can move around freely here. Now in the solids, I showed you that green color, how the molecules are packed very close. That is why they are strong. They don't have place to move. But in the liquid, the molecules are not packed close to each other. That is why they can move around more freely. And the liquids take the shape of the container. Examples: water, milk, juices, or any kind of liquids. So, and next now we'll move on to the gas. So what are gases? Yes, air is a gas. Now you must have seen the perfume bottle. So when you spray the perfume bottle in the room, so does the perfume stays in one place? No, it spreads all over the room because air is everywhere and the molecules present in the air is far away from each other. The molecules are far away from each other. That is why it just spreads all over the room. So any gas, if it is let out, if we let it out, it spreads all over it because they move around freely in the space available for them. Look at the molecules. So they have a lot of space in between them. So the molecules in a gas are far away from each other. They move around freely in the space available for them. So a gas does not have a definite shape and volume. So these are the three states of matter. So you should remember their properties. So as I said, the spray bottle, perfume bottle, when you spray in the room, it spreads all over the room. So here is another example you can see on the screen. So the boy is blowing the air in the balloon. So the air is caught inside the balloon. Now if you let the air outside, so what happens? It spreads everywhere because the molecules present in the air, it is so free to move everywhere. So when you blow air into the balloon, the air is squeezed into the balloon. So when you let it out, it spreads all over the room. So it now occupies a larger volume. Now let's learn about the change of state. So to learn about the change of state, in the part 2 video, you must have seen the activity we have done with the ice cubes. So you will take few ice cubes and leave them in the container outside. What happens? The ice starts melting and turns into water. Now, if that same water is boiled, so the water evaporates and escapes into the air. So from this activity, we learned that ice is a solid. When it melts, it becomes a liquid, and when we heat it, the water will evaporate and escapes into the air. That is gas. So here in this we learn the solid is changed into liquid and liquid changes into gas. And again the same thing, the same water after cooling, when we put it in a container, again when we keep it in the fridge or refrigerator, again it becomes a solid. So the gas changes into liquid and again the liquid into solid. So it is the reverse now. So thus matter can change from one state to another by heating or cooling. Now we have the next activity here. Yes. So again to observe the change of state. Now for this activity is also shown in the part 3 video. So here the solid, that is we had taken the wax and a piece of butter and iron. So now we are going to heat this. So first we had taken the butter and heated. So butter is in a solid state. And what happens when we heat it? It melts. That is, solid is changed into liquid. So did you try this activity? Yes. Now the butter is heated. Butter is a solid, and when it is heated, it becomes a liquid. Again, on cooling the same butter, again it changes into solid. And the same procedure with the wax. So take a piece of wax. So when you heat them in a pan, what happens? The wax also melts. And when we cool the melted wax, again it turns into solid. So thus matter can change from one state to another. Now we had taken the iron also. So iron also melts on heating. Iron needs lot of heating to melt. This cannot be done in home or in school. So the heating of iron is done in a furnace, which we can see in the factories. So we have a big furnace. So in that, the heat is lot of heat is there where they can melt the iron. So our next one is solutions. Yes, this activity is also done. So what is called solutions? So we had taken the water in a glass. We added the sugar in that, and we started stirring the sugar. So what did we notice? We noticed that the sugar slowly disappears. That is, it gets dissolved in the water. Now, this water with the dissolved sugar tastes very sweet. Now, this sweet water is called the solution. The sugar is called the solute. The water dissolves the solute and it is called the solvent. So what is solution? Solute, solvent. So when we add any substance in the water, when it dissolves or disappears, and that becomes the solution. And the sugar, the substance which we are adding, is called the solute. And the water that dissolves the solute is called the solvent. So similarly, it can be done with the salt also. Salt also dissolves in water to form a solution that tastes very salty. Now this activity we had tried with the sand also. Does the sand dissolve in water? No, it does not dissolve in water. So solids that dissolve completely in water, they are called as soluble substances. So sugar and salt are the soluble. And the substance which does not dissolve, it is called the insoluble substances. So here is the difference. So soluble substance means which completely dissolves. Insoluble means it does not dissolve. Example, sand. And here soluble, sugar and salt. And for the solution, we have a activity here. So this activity is to learn about the volume of the solution. So for this, water in a glass, sugar, and add the water in the glass. You have to mark the measure of water and then add sugar. So after adding the sugar, does the volume raises? No. So the level of water in the glass remains the same. So do you know why? Because the liquids, the molecules are loosely packed. So when we dissolve this sugar, and the sugar is dissolved in the water, so it occupies the remaining space. That is why the volume does not raise. So the volume of water remains the same. So here we can see the picture of the volume of molecules of the liquid, how loosely packed it is. And this, when we add, the second picture is sugar. So when we add the sugar in that liquid, so it fills those empty spaces. So there is no increase in the volume of water. Now with the same glass of water, now let us again add more sugar in the water. Now you can find after some time the sugar stops dissolving. So do you know why? Because the remaining sugar settles at the bottom of the glass without dissolving. So can you think why it is not getting dissolved? Yes, because in the first activity, the empty spaces between the water molecules are filled with sugar molecules. So no more sugar can dissolve in the same water. And such a solution is called as saturated solutions. Such a solution is called as saturated solution. But when you take a fresh water and if you add the sugar, so again it will get dissolved. So if you add more sugar in the same water, it does not get dissolved because the molecules are already occupied. So this you will understand by doing for yourself. So the key learnings. So what we learned now, matter has space and weight. And matter is made up of tiny particles called molecules. So solid, liquid and gas are the three states of matter. So heating and cooling causes changes in the states of matter. And some solids dissolve in a liquid to form a solution. So here we come to the end of the lesson. And so children, as you know, the assignment link is given. So click on the link and complete the assignment. And again, click the submit button and submit it. So in the next video, we'll be having a new lesson which is very interesting. So till then, keep revising this lesson and stay home, stay safe. Bye-bye.